Hi, this is Kenneth from Common Hawthorne, and I'm doing Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot 2020. This is day 4, and I'm finally caught up. And today's question is the 5 most used decks between 2010 and 2019. Well, I only started in 2019, so these are my most used decks of all time, and of the last 8 months. And I actually keep a spreadsheet. So this is data-based, it's not anecdotal. Coming in at number 5 is the Brady Tarot. I have a big bamboo box. Nice backs, matte gilded edges. Oh, upside down. It's an animal deck with words on it. I find that the guidebook is essential, and it's really incredibly well written. But that it does bring out meaning and helps to point attention into the right place. And here's my favorite card from this deck, the 10 of Arrows, which is the 10 of Swords, which very grim, but notice it's a possum, and none of the arrows are actually piercing it. I just love that. So that was my 5th most used tarot deck this year, or ever. 4th place, Pagan Other Worlds. Oops. I put away the wrong thing. Pagan Other Worlds, and it's nice, cool box. And I use this as a study deck for a month, more or less. And I bought it and the Oracle at the same time, just thinking from web images that it was just a beautiful, beautiful deck. And when I got it, I felt like I wasn't going to connect to it, and it's very pippish. But when I went ahead and chose it for a month of just using it as my deck for a month, I found that it gives very rich readings. I do use the book, and it is in fact a separate book, and I find it really useful, and I'm glad I got the book, and I'm really glad I have the deck. I look forward to a long and deep relationship with it. Next up is John Bower, which I keep in a lovely bag from Julie Sulis in Nottingham. John Bower, ugly backs in my opinion, but I got this deck and the next one early on in the spring in my adventure into tarot, and I love the images, but I find it that I have to basically use, I really have to use the little white book. Kind of, in many cases, just to even know what the card is. I mean, others like this are pretty obvious, but some of them, it's pre-existing art by John Bower, which has been repurposed, and that's rather nice. And so sometimes the connection of the art to the meaning of the card is not immediately obvious, and I'm really not, I think, ready to just cast away established tarot meanings and go entirely with an intuitive reading. So the number 2 deck is the Tarot of Dürer, which is not original. It's not Dürer art, but it is art that's been created in the style of Durr, who's one of my favorite artists. And the majors all have little inscriptions in Latin, so I always have to have the book handy so I can go and look up what they are. It's a pretty gruesome deck in ways, and pretty ribald in other ways. It does carry the symbolism of, you know, the basic Rider-Waite-Smith, and then add some of its own. And I'm glad I got it. I do like it. The art speaks to me. Not at all inclusive art. I mean, it's based on a medieval or early Renaissance Germanic artist, and doesn't really deviate from his subject matter much. And the deck that I've used more than any other deck is the Cesar-Ibido, and I can't really say anything that hasn't already been said. Lovely, lovely, lovely deck. Speaks to me in ways that are very honest and yet loving, if you can say that about a deck of pieces of cardboard. But like that, I know that there are people who don't like this deck because it deviates from Rider-Waite-Smith, but because I'm new to the whole thing, it's like some of the symbolism in Rider-Waite-Smith is just kind of brute memorization anyway, but like, talk about motion and vigor with a touch of the danger of losing control. I think it's just amazing. And there you can see the sun. I love the people in the deck. I love that the Fool is this old man. Anyway, that's the deck that I've used more than any other deck since I started my tarot journey in April. So again, thanks for bothering to watch my video, and I'm going to be continuing with Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot 2020, and come back when you may.